All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to the game with a brand new video. This time it is Late Night with Chig, where I talk to you about Arsenal subjects, things surrounding the Arsenal. Now I'm going to attempt to try and do a video once a day this week, so we'll see how well that goes. But I'll tell you what, we've got plenty of content for the first day. That's a damn sure. I literally could have done 3 or 4 different videos today. So bear with me. I'm going to try and hit them all up because I know Lee normally does a show at 9. So bear with me. What do we late again? I'm usually later than this. I'm usually 10 p.m. What are you talking about? All right. Anyway, so let's do it. Let's talk about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So about an hour ago, before I get to Aubameyang, let me give you the full story. So for anyone who hasn't seen today, Arsenal News has been active today. Now, one of the things was the fact that the board have backed Unai Emery. I'll come on to that shortly. Leno is linked with a move to Bayern Munich. I'll come back to that. Granit Xhaka is linked with a move to AC Milan. Apparently, Gazidis wants him. I'll come back to that. But a certain YouTuber by the name of Troops, you may have heard of him, a very quiet, mild-mannered man. He has got into the headlines very recently. David Ornstein decided to write an article today. He was very active today because one of the things that he came out with was the fact that, I think it was yesterday, I think, where he basically said that the Arsenal board would not be sacking Emery. And obviously we had a little bit more context today, which I'll come back onto. But he wrote an article today basically suggesting that the Arsenal board are pretty annoyed with the fact that Aubameyang associates himself with Arsenal Fan TV. Now, if you don't have Insta, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you have Insta, follow me at Guna Eagle Eye. That's why the thing's there. Yeah, basically, with regards to Aubameyang, he has a tendency of liking a lot of AFTV posts. Now, if you see AFTV on Insta, they kind of put posts about all their videos. So a lot of their posts will range from, Kelechi or Mo saying something positive or critical to Troops saying Granit Xhaka is a pussy. It could be anything. It could literally be anything. According to David Ornstein, Aubameyang has been caught liking a couple of posts that have been critical towards Unai Emery. Pretty interesting, actually, because the last time that an Arsenal player liked a post to do with Unai Emery, it wasn't Aubameyang, it was Lacazette. I guess we all look alike, I don't know. So, I'm joking, by the way, snowflakes, blimey. So yeah, to me, so that basically was what the kind of context of the story today. And we've since obviously had, Troops respond through his own channel and through AFTV, and even Robbie gave a very brief, almost rebuttal on AFTV. And actually, I don't agree with a lot necessarily when it comes to Robbie, but I do agree with what he said during his video today on AFTV, which is that, during this time, you do get journalists that are just looking for stories. And when journalists are looking for stories, there is one fan base more than any other, that could be easily triggered, and that's Arsenal fans, and especially AFTV fans. And they decided to go after them. At the very least, it's conjured up some interest. And a lot of the stories that have come kind of outside of that is the fact that, they don't like the fact that supposedly Troops was in Aubameyang's box or something like that, but then Troops denied that in a video that he did with Robbie today. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Evidently, because people like tagging players, lots of people were tagging Aubameyang. My man's obviously on his way to Gabon because it's the international break. So he's off to go represent his country. My man's literally landed and his phone was blowing up. So he put this on Insta, which I thought was just, I looked at it and I thought, you know what? Respect. Respect. I kind of like the kind of FU nature of it. And that was basically put a picture, which is the picture in my thumbnail, by the way. You put a picture saying, I've just arrived in Gabon and heard lots of bullshit. I'm just going to swear. Sorry, YouTube. Lots of bullshits. I talk with who I want, whenever I want. If somebody's not happy with it, then you already know. And then puts his middle finger up. Middle finger up emoji. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the FU nature of it. Do what I want. I speak to who I... Because I must admit, there's part of me that would be like... It's like if work suddenly came to me and went, boy, we don't really like the person that you're... See, it's difficult. It is difficult. Because on the one hand, we have things like a social media policy. So if somebody was... So like, for example, I have a YouTube channel. If I had a YouTube channel dedicated to crapping all over my workplace, I'm going to find myself in pretty hot water very, very quickly. On the flip side to that, if I'm hanging around or if I'm liking posts of somebody who's being critical to my boss, oh, yeah, I suppose, see, you can work either way because now I'm looking at it like that. It's a difficult one because I'd still be in hot water. Would I know? Because it's not me saying that. I'm just liking the post of someone else. I don't know. I think that would be difficult. That would be a technicality. But there is part of me that just be like, I do what I want. I speak to who I want. And I think there's two things at play here because it's more than just about liking a couple of posts. They clearly don't like the idea of AFTV. AFTV is a thing that it's a business, it's an institution, it's a channel that a lot of people don't like. None more so than Arsenal Football Club themselves. And in some ways, I could see why. Because, when you're trying to kind of, we're way past the days of, media where the club was able to control the narrative. Actually, now it's more social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram that controls the narrative. And that's why the media sometimes are always in the back foot with these things, because when stories break, they don't break from the media, they break from us. Usually it's the fans that have this stuff quickly, and the media are the ones that are reacting to us, which is a lot of the reason why you do have situations like this where the media will create stories for us to react to. So this is not entirely unusual. To me, in terms of what I think about Aubameyang and his association, you see, for me, the club are missing a trick. If they were really on point, and I said this earlier in a couple of group chats, right? If they were really on point, they'd get AFTV on side. If they were really on point and they really wanted to control the narrative, what they should do is reach out to Robbie. Reach out to Robbie, bring troops, just those two, right? Bring them in. Speak to them off the record, on the record. And speak to them in front of the camera as well. And really try and get ahead of certain narratives when it comes to... they don't need to consult them with every story. People, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, at times of difficulty, the best way to reach the most amount of Arsenal fans isn't through the media anymore. It just isn't. The best way to reach out to people is through, forget me, I am barely small fry. Forget me. I'm talking about people like your Robbies, people who have massive Arsenal platforms. Heck, even what's his name? Arsenal blog, whatever, Arsblog or whatever it is, right? Reach out to those sort of people who have those big platforms, that have that access to massive amounts of Arsenal fans, and communicate with them. Bring them on side. To me, that's what I would expect from my club. Yeah, I get it. Arsenal have their own YouTube channel, yada, 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 yada. I'm talking about reaching out to people and making them affiliates of your channel, making them affiliates of the club, which I know might sound a bit booky, that might sound a bit shady, but the more you resist to these people, the more out of touch you look. The more you resist and you start, going after troops, knowing how popular he is, that's only going to make people think, oh, just a bunch of old cruddies that clearly don't understand what younger people want. To me, this is not difficult stuff. We're going through a difficult time on the pitch, and subsequently it will be off the pitch. Get ahead of that narrative before the standouts start happening again. You get ahead, get Josh, because he seems to be a very good talker. Not Vinay, because I don't think many people trust him. Heck, even Raul would work, right? You get them to sit with your troops, your Robbies, have a sit-down interview. Don't need to do too long, 20 minutes on camera, official. Then off camera, actually talk to them like properly. So listen, some of the stuff that you do ain't helpful for us. I get that you are representing what certain fans say, but certain fans are on there trying to sensationalize themselves and are not helping the situation. What can we do to meet halfway here? That's what you should do. To me, again, this is not difficult stuff. This is just my view, my opinion, looking at it from an outside in. Because you guys know I'm not an AFTV guy. I have nothing against them. I've just never been on there. For me, I just go about doing my thing quietly with my little modest YouTube channel. But to me, that seems to be the method that I would take. And then as for the players, if anything, the players should be closer to the fans. Don't knock a player because one of them actually speaks to the fans. They should be close. A lot of the problem is because these players are not close to the fans. Look at people like Kevin Campbell, people like Ian Wright, who, for better or worse, associate with the fans all the time. Especially Kevin Campbell. Kevin Campbell is basically one of us at this point, But even Ian Wright, fair play to him, associates with the fans. And then you have the other end of the scale, where you have people like your Mesut Ozils and people like that who have people running their own social media. So there is no interaction. There's no feeling. There's no human emotion or human attachment to them. It's more a fantasy or an idea of a person rather than actually engaging with said person. And don't get me wrong, social media is a cesspool. Quite honestly, if I was a celebrity, I wouldn't want to be on there either. But you shouldn't knock the people that are actually reaching out to the fans. And Uber was always going to be a character that was going to be a fan guy. He was always going to be a fan guy. So for me, I like the response. You guys know I like a bit of attitude in our players. But as someone rightly said to me in a group chat, now let's see that attitude on the pitch. Let's see that tenacity on the pitch. Let's see that carryover on the pitch. Because there's no point you being like, well, yeah, I'll do what I want when I want, and then you're gone back to being feeble on the pitch. So that, for me, is what I want to see. I want to see that type of stuff carry over. Moving on, let's talk about Unai Emery. Guys, I see you active in the chat. I will come to you, I promise. Please do stick a like on this video. Any donations I've missed, I apologize. I'll come back to them. Super chats are open as usual. 125 people. Do stick a like on this video. Let's talk about Unai Emery. So the board have officially backed Unai Emery. Unai Emery has had the dreaded vote of confidence, where they've basically said, that they still feel that Unai Emery is the right man. I don't know. But they said that they do feel that things need to improve. The feeling at the moment is that he'll be given till Christmas. I think that would be too late, personally. Some people think he'll be given 3 games, 4 games, 5 games. I think the Christmas thing is probably the most realistic. Because I also think we'll beat Southampton when we come back from international break. To me, my biggest worry about this whole situation is what happens when we are too late. Because at the moment, this situation is salvageable. You know, getting top 4, as things stand, is salvageable, but not with this manager. And that's my concern. Because don't get me wrong, for me, I think we should always be aiming to win the league. We're a big enough club where we should always be aiming to win the league. Even if we know the reality is different, that should be the aim. But from this position, top 4 has to be it now. And Leicester are killing it, Chelsea are killing it, and the rest of us look like dog shit, quite honestly. And it's about how we're going to react to that now. From my point of view, from my perspective, I would have sacked him by now. And it's a bit worrying that they've seen that performance on Saturday and thought, nah, he's still good. That makes me a little concerned. But let's see. Let's see. I think maybe all of us were being a bit unrealistic when we hoped that they would sack him this international break. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I guess the hope now is that, you know, Arsenal have a positive reaction to coming back. We don't pick up any injuries because we finally got a full squad together. And if we pick up an injury now, it's just like, come on. So from that perspective, I guess we just have to wait, see, brace ourselves and keep it moving. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but what else can we do at this point? So let's just see what happens. What do you guys think? Leave it in the chat room comments. Leave it in the comments below. Now, it's a bit early for Eagle Eye, but I might as well talk about 2 transfer rumors. So which one do we go with? Let me get stories up. Let's go with Granit Xhaka to AC Milan. So the story goes, because whenever Arsenal are in a bit of crisis, it seems like Gazidis always comes sniffing. And it seems as though Gazidis is looking at Granit Xhaka as someone who he's very interested in. This story comes from Arsblog, who I obviously mentioned just now. Bear with me. Let me just get the full story up. Okay. So it looks as though, so obviously yesterday, Granit Xhaka came out and said that, you know, he was, like, he denied, you know, Emery's kind of feeling that he wasn't ready. He felt he was ready. He felt that he was disappointed that he lost the captaincy. He still is adamant that he did the right thing in walking off the way he did, but he's ready to come back, fight for his place, and, you know, continue his future or journey, as he put it, with Arsenal. I know I can feel the collective eyes rolling because I'm with you. Then interestingly, today, this story comes up. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm reading it from Arsblog, but I saw it in a few okay, yeah. So the story comes from Swiss outlet RSI. It's a Swiss newspaper that reports this. AC Milan are interested in signing Granit Xhaka in January. It is widely assumed that Arsenal will look to sell the midfielder when the window opens. The 27-year-old hasn't played since badly reacting to the crowds cheering him, yada, yada, yada. Who the person driving the deal is Ivan Gazidis. So, yeah. I don't know. It could be just a made-up story. It could be a story from from Switzerland, because they assume that because Granit Xhaka was treated so badly, they clearly love him out in Switzerland. That maybe they just feel as though he wants to leave Arsenal now. I'm hoping for the best, but I also believe the stories about Gazidis being interested in Mustafi. Unfortunately, I don't think it will happen, even though I do believe that Italian football would suit him. And I know if he ever moved to Italy and started killing it, I'm going to get all these fools tweeting me talking about, oh, see, Chig, you said he was rubbish. I never said he'd be rubbish in Italy. I said he's rubbish here. I never said he'd be rubbish in Italy, because in Italy, they ain't going to close him down the way they do here. So I'm hoping for the best. Me, personally, I don't know how much of his future is here. I don't know if the Arsenal fans will ever forgive him. I'm not an abuser. I'm not a booer. As much as I don't like the kid playing for us, you know, whenever I'm going to see him live, I'm not going to be the guy that boos him. Let's put it that way. So let me know what you think. Would you boo him if you went to watch Arsenal play? Let me know in the chat. I'll come to it. Finally, Bernd Leno. So it seems as though Bernd Leno is being linked with a move for Bayern Munich. I guess they're looking for a replacement for, or a long-term replacement for, what's my man's name? Oh my gosh. Chat room, help me out. Bayern Munich keeper. What's his name? Bayern Munich. Neuer, that's the one. Neuer. So I guess they're looking for a long-term replacement for Neuer. Even though I didn't think Neuer was that old, but I knew that his form had apparently dropped. And apparently they're very interested in Leno as a long-term replacement or a current replacement for him. So yeah, it looks as though they're lining up a move as a replacement for Neuer. Neuer, who's 33 years old, has suffered with injuries and lack of consistency. And Bernd Leno has been lined up with a move to be his successor. 27 years old, Bernd Leno. Can I be honest with you? If Bayern Munich are serious, I'd sell him. I ain't been that impressed, yo. I'm sorry. I ain't been that impressed. I actually don't think he's that great of a shot stopper. I don't. I think he's a little bit of a better handler than Ospina was. I think he makes the occasional spectacular save. But I think his judgment, is off. I don't think his distribution is great. But I think that's further compounded by the fact that I don't think he understands that sometimes there is times where you play it from the back, regardless of what the manager wants, and then sometimes you go long with it. And I just don't think he gets that, which kind of surprises me. Like, oh, you'd think that's just basic stuff. And that was why for a minute I was deluded enough to think that Martinez was better than him, because Martinez ain't a particularly good shot stopper. That I realized. But actually everything else in terms of the way he commands his area and stuff, quite honestly, is stronger than Leno, which worries me a little bit. It makes me think, oh, okay. Like, I can see some flaws here. Because he hasn't had a disaster, people are going to be like, oh, Chig, you're talking shit. But I'm not overly impressed with him. No, Bayern Munich were serious and came up with a firm offer. And we had someone in mind to replace him. And there's got to be other good goalkeepers out there, for crying out loud. I'd be interested. I honestly would be interested. If we had some... My man's talking about 75 million. Bruh, I'll take half that. I'm going to lie, I'll take half that. I'll take half that. Real talk. Quite honestly, if they came up with 30 million and maybe we were a little bit savvy and either got a player out of that or maybe put in a sell-on clause or something clever that is useful for us, I'd take that. I don't think he's all... I honestly don't think he's all that. Maybe he might grow into be something, but I'm not overly impressed, I must admit. But this is where you scout keepers, bruh. You got to scout keepers. There's other keepers out there apart from Bernd Leno. Come on, guy. Come on, my guy. Look, the chat room are starting to suggest people. So anyway, right. So it's 9 o'clock. There's 156 people. What I want you to do is hit that like it's an irritating beat. Just smash that thing for me, because it helps people get noticed. I'm going to do 10 minutes of you because I know Lee's waiting to get on. So 10 minutes. Please do stick that like on this video, please. And then I'll get myself out of here. All right. Let's G the PT. It usually says something good. Buster's in the house. It's been off for shit too, brother. Jamie, the one that was hurrying me up when I was offline. Jamie Wise, I want 11 on Thierry's. Brother, I want to win the Euro Million lottery. Probably ain't going to happen. Bannett Whacker. Oh, gosh. Buster, that's a big stream. Jamie, one thing you'll learn about Buster Cherry, he lives on extreme with his comments. You're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to get used to it. It's not everyday Buster's even in the chat line, so this is a rare showing. Gunaman, Neuer. What have I missed? Oh, brother. Rewind. Give us 40 million and could have Xhaka. Give us 30 million. Could have Xhaka. Kidding me? On that second Leicester goal, Leno looked like he had his shoes nailed to. That's what I'm saying, bro. Don't get me wrong. I think he's got great reactions, because I don't want this to be like, oh, Chig saying he's a crap stopper. Look at the following. I think his reflexes are excellent. But just because your reflexes are excellent does not mean you're a good shot stopper necessarily. You got to be able to kind of command your... Sometimes the way he dives for an effort, I can't help but think, could you not have just stretched out a little bit? He does this kind of thing where he kind of... I'm probably overthinking it. Where someone will score and he kind of like... It's like he kind of flips over rather than flips for the goal. Does that make sense? Like, I would expect someone to be stretching and then trying that, but he kind of flips over as though he doesn't really want to. I don't know. It's difficult to explain. When a goalkeeper dives, they're supposed to dive on their side, stretching. Somehow, he's always on his stomach. So not someone that's stretched for the goal. He's kind of stretched. He's trying to look acrobatic, but not necessarily stretching for the goal. I always think that whenever he concedes a goal. Just watch the next time. You'll see what I'm talking about. It won't take long before Arsenal concede a goal. So watch what I'm talking about. His distribution is shit. We should go and get Van der Beek, Ziyech, Doucouré sorted. If you think that Ajax are letting go Van der Beek and Ziyech in the same window, you're smoking bone. But I agree with you in terms of the type of players you want. Leno has made some huge saves for us this year. I have zero issue with him. All right, brother. It's just a difference of opinion. That's all. I think there are better keepers out there. That's just my view. It's my view. I'm probably being overly critical, but in my opinion, I think there is better out there. I'm not yet impressed. And if Bayern Munich came and said, all right, he's 27, he's German. Realistically, if we give you 40 million, are you on it? I'd be on it. I'd be like, yep, cool, accept, let's move on. That's just my opinion. Donnarumma, yep. Lafont would be a great keeper. And we've been linked with Lafont for time as well, for time. Listen, I take the whole of the Ajax team. You best believe that. I know they let go of a 4-0 or is it 4-2 lead, as Lee likes to constantly remind me. But I'd have all of them. Trust me. 5 minutes, yeah, 5 minutes before I come off this. Please do stick a like on the video. It does help. It really does help. We should stop playing out from the back. Too much time spent on the defenders at our feet. Same with Xhaka. That's for me the problem. Yeah, okay, I could see that. I could see that. In fairness to Leno, his might have been blocked. His view might have been blocked on that second goal. I don't know. I just think he's a late reactor, bro. He's just a late reactor. Definitely a rival fan, this one. Banter FC is in effect. I'm good, Tom. I hope you're well, man. I hope you're well. This is interesting because I've said for the longest we should get Ndidi. Now, I must admit, I confess, I think he's improved a lot the last 18 months. Anyone who's followed me for a long period of time knows, bear in mind, I'm Nigerian. I've not particularly rated Ndidi that highly. I think the potential was there. But then for some reason, the last 18 months, this kid has made some huge strides. And he looks so good now. And you saw what he did to us on the weekend. It was nothing. It was light work. It was light work. And actually, what I like about him is that, unlike our former captain, when he plays badly, he gave one interview. I think it was for Sky Sports, right? Played really well in the match. There was this one occasion where he made one lapse pass, and then somebody ran in and scored it, right? And they were like, "Oh, you played so well. Like you did really well." I think he ended up getting an assist for it, right? He got an assist, not for the own goal, not for the goal he conceded, but I mean the goal that, because he went on and had a really good game and got an assist. And I remember I can't remember who interviewed him. It was someone from Sky Sports, someone from Soccer Saturday. And he was like, I didn't do well, you know. He goes, what? I didn't do well. I'm still annoyed at the ball that I gave away. It's like, but you went on and you had an assist, you had a really good game. But he thought about his mistake. Because that's the thing. When you're thinking about your mistake, it's not because you're being negative. It's because you want to eradicate that shit out of your game. And that was 6 months ago. Look at what he's done in the last 6 months. This is what I'm trying to say. This is about making strides to better yourself. This isn't about pointing fingers at others and saying, "Oh, well, you should have scored those chances that you had," and I'm not the only one that makes mistakes around here. No, brother. You're meant to stand up and be counted and say, you know what, we're all not good enough, and we all need to make improvements quickly. That's what I expect from my players. Oh. Sorry, I've rabbited on for like 4 minutes now. How many players have we missed out on? Think about how many more we're going to miss out on because of our penny pinching owners. Exactly. Daniel, some of my long-term listeners will tell you, before Decore became in fashion, your boy Chig was the one that banded that about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I was saying, why don't we just go and get Decore? I've been saying that. Chig, and Dende's mistake was in August against Chelsea. It wasn't 6 months ago. That wasn't the interview I'm talking about. So that must be another mistake. That's not the interview I was talking about. Or say that's not the mistake I was talking about. So I know you tried to catch me out there. Unlucky. We like your rabbiting, pro. Appreciate it. Much love. Watford is not good anymore. Decore is okay. It's like saying Uber is not good as Arsenal aren't even. Exactly. Do you know I saw that comment just now and I didn't pay it no attention because I just thought you can't be serious. Sell Bellerin to Atletico and get Hamiki from Madrid. I haven't got a clue who that is. Get Madison. Do you know how many times he could help us moving the ball between midfield and forwards? Exactly. But I must admit, Chuckers, to me, I like that name, by the way. To me, he's still not a DM. To be honest, if we were really about this life, you'd sell Xhaka, you sell Torreira, you bring in Decore, you bring in Ndidi. Imagine that central midfield. Just imagine it. Decore and Ndidi. Jeez. My goodness. My goodness. Oh, okay. Good evening, Uganda. I see you. Oh, okay. I ain't gonna lie, straight up, did not know who he was. I'll look into him now for the next stream. That gives me something to work on. Buster, you're an Arsenal fan. Look at you. Look at you. Don't rate it, Chig. I get Havertz over Madison. Me too. We've got zero chance of that, though. All right. 166 people. Do stick a like on this video. I'm literally going to do 5 extra minutes because I was 3 extra minutes because I was rabbiting. Chig, are we missing Hawobi? Give it a minute, don't one. Shit. I'm not even going to highlight your comment. Physicality, no brains. Who? Decore? Come on. Come on. Just come on. Come on. Chelsea. Even you don't believe that. Come on. Hakimi. See, I'm getting education from the chat room now. This is from Jeanette King. Hakimi is from Borussia Dortmund. He plays right back. He's been scoring, especially in the Champions League. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to really keep an eye out on him. All right. I will. This is, for me, I'm not going to BS you guys. If there's a player I've not heard of, I will just say it. Straight up. So that's a chance for me to be able to look into him. Yes, Doherty, I think, is still very good right back. Plays for Wolves. Looked good yesterday. Watched that Wolves game. Weirdly, I did watch that Wolves game. Somebody's got to say it, Chick. David Luiz at DM. No, thank you. Chig, you think Pepe is worth 72 million? All right. I think this is a good thing to kind of sign off on. For me, with Pepe, I think you've bought on the investment. Now, I expected him to start a little quicker than we have, but I still think he will prove to be worth that 72 million. I know that sounds laughable now. Mark the date I said it. He will prove to be worth that 72 million. Plus, you also got to keep in mind this. Look at the manager we got, bro. I mean, he doesn't exactly scream attacking, let Pepe off the leash. It doesn't, there's nothing about him that allows Pepe to do his thing. So it just stifles Pepe. So for me, let's just wait, relax, be easy, give him the season. And if he's still doing this nonsense this time next year, I'm with you. I'll eat the humble pie. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. For me, I have no concerns. This guy will come through. But I think a lot of it is going to depend on a new manager. Who would I put to Saliba next season? I'd get Upamecano next to him. Been disappointed with Holding, but I've not lost faith in Holding. But I have been disappointed with him this season. Nagelsmann or Rodgers? I don't think Rodgers will come to Arsenal. But Nagelsmann, yeah. Pepe or Mahrez. So is Lee watching? Still Pepe. I still get Pepe. I hope you heard that. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Please do stick a like on this video. Go check out my boy Lee Gunner. Go and show him some support. My man is so close to 30K now. Go to his chat, hit it up, flood his chat room, tell him I sent you. In the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. And who knows, maybe there'll be a further development on one of these 4 stories I've talked about. Arsenal, I tell you, they're never boring. That much I'll give them. All right, I'm out of here, people. Hit that subscribe button as well. Road to 7K. Road to 7 heaven. I'm out of here. Peace.